Assalamu alaikum. I'm in the middle of a move, as you can see, so you're gonna have to deal with the mess. I'm sorry to say. But I have something very important to talk about here. If you ask any older member of your community or your family this one question, you always get the same response. What kind of a woman should I marry? Go and try asking your mom that question. I can guarantee you, educated, university education is going to be part of their response. And you might find this kind of confusing if you have a couple of brain cells and you can do analytical thinking. Now, if you're if you're a non-critical thinker, then you probably don't even care. You're like, oh, okay, educated, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, of course. You're not even going to question it. However, if you're watching my videos, then I assume you have a couple of brain cells. So I'm going to explain to you why they all think that, and more importantly, why it just simply doesn't apply to the real world. But firstly, I want to ask you, why do you actually care about that topic? Why is it so important to you that you would watch a video on it? The truth is, right now, at your age, in this crazy world that you live in, one of the most important things is the kind of woman that you are going to marry. Now, the society is going to try to make you feel bad about it. They're going to say, why do you only care about women? You should be focused on yourself. That's dumb. Because we are at an age where the most important thing for us right now is to find a good quality wife. Don't let anyone make you feel bad about it. This is your bloodline. If you really think about it, this is literally the most important thing in the world right now. Does her education matter? Right now, if you're going to look for a wife, are you going to look for one with a high education, like a master's degree or a bachelor's degree? Why does everyone think this is really important? This is a very big question, and I'll tell you why in a moment. Okay, now, the reason they care about this is because education has always been an extremely important factor. Now, if you marry a girl that's stupid, in any timeline, you would have been screwed because she's just going to like decide what she wants based on her emotions rather than using her brain. And nobody wants that. When you need help, when you are, if you are sick or your child is sick or there's something wrong in your house, in your life, she's not going to know what to do. She's just simply not going to care. The idea behind the education thing is if you are smart, then she will be able to help you. She'll be able to figure out, okay, this is wrong. Okay, we need to eat this kind of food. Okay, this is what the baby needs right now. However, do you think the modern women who get educated are getting educated to be smarter? The answer is no. Throughout history, Muslim women have been very big into education. A very big example is Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his wife, Aisha, peace be upon her. She was quite educated. And I don't know if this is true, but they say the first university ever was opened by a Muslim woman. I don't know if this is true. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. But I know one thing for sure. The Muslim women who were getting educated back then were receiving an entirely different form of education than the women do in this modern world. In the modern world, when women are going to university, two things are happening. Firstly, they are becoming entirely indoctrinated with this new age mentality that's not fit for marriage. Secondly, her ego is becoming overinflated and she's becoming as masculine as you can get. Because the motivation for going to university is not to become smarter. It's not to be able to take care of your family better in most cases. It's to be able to excel in her career in order to dominate other men. A lot of the time, this actually comes from hatred towards men. It's the women who had bad experiences with boys in school, or bad experiences with her father. She's been abused as a child. Those are the women who take up these like extremely career oriented jobs, like engineering or medicine, not so they can get smarter, but simply so they can outcompete other men. So it's domination. If you want a dominant woman, that's the perfect way to find one. But if you're watching me and you are similar to me in your mindset, then you probably don't want that. So don't go for it. Let's talk about the second problem. I was having an argument with some feminists on my Instagram. She told me something very interesting. She said there are no differences in terms of testosterone and in terms of other biological factors, biological hormones, amongst nationalities and amongst genders. I know for a fact, after all the research I've done, there are many differences between different countries, between genders in terms of testosterone, serotonin, and dopamine. Everybody knows this. But the people who supposedly went to university, like this woman that I was arguing with, she studied psychology and she was 100% convinced that there are no differences, even though every single statistic tells her there is. This is the kind of stuff they teach in university. They tell you that gender is a social construct, which means there's zero differences between genders. Just think about the impact this is going to have on your marriage with a woman who thinks this way. So she got an education, and in university they told her that there are no differences in genders. She's gonna believe the university more than you, obviously, because it's just like, yeah, university, they know everything, and you, who the hell are you? You don't know anything. So what you have as a result is a woman who thinks there's no differences in gender. So you can't conduct a proper marriage with a person who thinks this way, because you're not going to be able to divide responsibilities. You're not going to be able to say, well, I'm a man, so I'm going to go work, and you're a woman, so you have to take care of the baby, and you have to cook some food for when I get back. It's not going to make sense to her. You're not going to be able to convince her that this is her job based on her gender. It's just going to piss her off. This is not factual. Every single statistic points towards the fact that there are indeed differences between genders. For example, the biggest difference is in terms of interest, which means women are more people-oriented in order for them to be able to take care of infants. This is the biological wiring. But if they are told that there's no differences, this is a simple lie. This is not subjective. This is a simple, blatant lie which is going to destroy your marriage. So, on one hand, you have women that are getting educated on completely wrong things. And secondly, her ego is getting inflated and she's going into a dominant market that's run by males. Naturally, she's going to become even more bitter and resentful towards men. Now, you think about those two things and you tell me if it makes sense that a university degree is a green flag. I'm not going to say it's a red flag. I'm not going to say anything. Just think about what I said in this video and decide for yourself. That's it from me. The rest is up to you.